What is going on, Pokemon fans? Welcome back to Polar's Wrath. My name is JD, and today we're doing a playthrough of Pokemon Blue using Butterfree, but with a twist. If you didn't see my video last week, we were playing through Pokemon Blue with all the bug types, figure who the best bug type is in Generation 1. And last week we played through with Butterfree. Butterfree is a bug-flying Pokemon. Had a pretty decent time. It's going to do better when I do my second round, but as I'm playing, I thought to myself, this Pokemon, it doesn't make sense to me, and today we're doing a what-if scenario. What if Butterfree was a bug Psychic? I'll explain why we're going to switch it to bug Psychic here in a minute. But I do want to thank another YouTuber who helped this video and helped make this video possible by modifying the game and making it so Butterfree was a bug psychic Pokemon rather than bug flying. And that is Speedrunner0218. Recommend you go check him out. He's got great YouTube content, great Pokemon content. And let's dive a little bit into this Pokemon. I'll go over why we decided to make this change. So if you look at Butterfree, obviously it's a bug, so you can, the bug type makes sense, and the flying type doesn't not make sense because it has wings, a cute little butterfly, and obviously it's a bug and it flies. There are some reasons why I'm going to change this, and I'll go over that here in a second, but first I just want to quickly go over the level up rate and our stats. Level up rate is medium fast, which is pretty decent for a playthrough, and then HP is 60, attack is 45, defense is 50, speed is 70, and special is 80 for a critical hit rate of 13.67. Now, the reason why I was inspired to do this playthrough, look over at the right side where it says move pool. If you look at the move pool, there is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 psychic moves on this Pokemon moveset. Now, a handful of these everyone gets. A lot of Pokemon get teleport, a lot of Pokemon can get reflect, and a lot of Pokemon can get rest. However, really only psychic Pokemon and also Golduck get confusion, Psybeam, psychic, and even Psywave. Those 4 are specifically psychic moves, and this Pokemon has no flying moves at all. Actually doesn't have any bug moves either, for that matter. But it has none of those in this generation. I think in Generation 2 it does start getting Gust and some other things, maybe even Wing Attack. However, in Generation 1, it's all Psychic moves and barely anything else. The Psychic, 2 Grass moves, and the rest are normal. We're going to modify this game today and play through as Bug Psychic to see how much better this makes Butterfree. It really changes the dynamic of this game, having this Pokemon be Bug Psychic early, because Psychic, you usually don't use this Pokemon for Psychic moves because it doesn't have the stabbing. So usually when people use Butterfree, like I'll give my personal example. Whenever I used Butterfree as a kid, I used Butterfree for early game and probably get rid of him right around Missy's gym. He'd help with the first gym, he'd help early just to make sure I had some more Pokemon so I didn't have to go back and heal as often. However, he would phase himself out because it's just better Pokemon. If you're a person who likes to use Kadabra, that's a great Pokemon to use. I personally don't like to use Kadabra because I don't like using Pokemon can't fully evolve. That's why I don't use Machamp, I didn't use Machoke, I didn't use Graveler, I didn't use Haunter. Because I like Pokemon being able to fully evolve, it was just something I did not like, so what I do instead is get an Abra and trade it for Mr. Mon. That was consistent with my Psychic type. Butterfree just doesn't match up to that. But with the Psychic typing, does Butterfree match up? I don't know. That's why we're doing the playthrough. So let's dive in. And as we load up the ROM, it will switch to Bug Psychic, and we're going to go face our first battle against our rival. Our rival's name is Mo. I just named him Mo, and we are B-Free. And now Confusion is usually a 50 base power move, but because it's Stab, it is a 75 base power move. A lot more powerful. That battle took 4 Confusions to knock out Charmander in the original playthrough. Now it's a 3-shot, so we're saving power points. Weedle is a 1-shot because it's a poison bug type, so we're getting 1-shots, and we're getting a 2-shot on the Caterpie. Those, I believe, were 2 and 3 shots in the previous playthrough. And then here, we're pretty much going to clean sweep his team because he has all bug type, all bug poison, I should say. Yeah, it's a 1-shot across the board. Again, saving power points. Not that that's a huge issue in this part of the game, but in other parts of the game it is. So, for example, whenever we leave Brock's gym and head towards Mount Moon, we can run out of power points there. We can run out of power points in Mount Moon if we're fighting certain battles. But because we have a much more powerful stab move, there are a lot of poison Pokemon that are now 1-shots that were 2-shots or 3-shots before. So, for example, Butterfree right there was a 2-shot. In the original battle, this battle was a lot more convoluted. We actually only won on about 2 hit points, but this one is a much more convincing battle, and we're actually lower level now, so that's even crazier. And that moves us right into Brock's gym. Brock's gym is going to come out with a Million Light Trainer who has Diglett. Now, this doesn't really change too much because Diglett has decent special and it's not weak to Psychic. However, we do get a 2-hit knockout, and Sandshrew is a 3-hit knockout. This battle's pretty close, but again, we are lower level than we were in the previous playthrough. So we're going to heal up. We probably don't even need to use 2 potions. We probably could use 1. And I'm going to move right into the Brock battle at 3 minutes and 32 seconds. And he's going to come out with a Geodude. Wakanda forever. And Geodude will go down to 2 confusions. In the original playthrough, we were lower level, or higher level, and it took like 3 or 4 confusions there. and Onyx will go down to 3 confusions here. So this makes the battle pretty trivial. We get through this battle a lot faster. So 3 minutes and 50 seconds roughly is about how long it took. And it moves us right into Mount Moon. Mount Moon, there's a lot of poison type Pokemon. So like right here we have a Grimer. That was not a one-shot in the previous playthrough. So you're seeing the inherent advantage. We are minutes ahead of what we were in the previous playthrough. 8 minutes. We get through Mount Moon. We get the Dome Fossil. All hail the Dome Fossil. I know if I didn't tell you, you're going to ask. Actually, now I think we go ahead and ask. Comments are great for the YouTube algorithm. And so now we've added some moves. We have Poison Powder, Stun Spore, and Sleep Powder. We're going to go for Sleep Powder on the Pidgeotto. If we can let him sleep, there we go. And we're going to go for Confusion. We just don't want to get Sand Attack. That's really the biggest thing of this battle. The battle is pretty much a foregone conclusion if we just don't get Sand Attack. Abra is resistant to Psychic moves because it is also Psychic type, but it also can't attack us. So it's better just to go for Poison Powder, save ourselves a little bit of the power points, and we're going to go ahead and knock it out. Very good. That leads us into Rattata. The only thing Rattata can really do is hit us with a Quick Attack, and in Charmander, just so we don't get hit by fire and get a critical hit or something, we're going to put it to sleep. Confusion is a 2-hit knockout. Pretty easy win over our rival. We're going to take Supersonic and get rid of Sunspore. It may come in handy with the Misty battle. I don't know. You're watching this right as I'm talking about it. So we're going to move right onto the SSN. We're not going to face Misty until we outspeed her. And Misty's Starmie has a speed of 56, so we're not outspeeding yet. So we're going to put Pidgeotto to sleep. It's a 2-shot. We're on the SSN, like I said. And we're going to go ahead and put Raticate to sleep. Raticate ends up being almost a 1-shot, but very close, a 2-shot. Kadabra, kind of the same scenario. We're going to go and put it to sleep, and we're going to use, we should use Supersonic, honestly. Or Poison Powder, that'll work too. Now, he doesn't go for Confusion. We actually would resist Confusion, or Psychic moves now. Actually, we double resist Psychic, because not only are we Bug, which resists it, but we're Psychic, so it's neutral. So we really wouldn't take any damage. So Kadabra doesn't go for anything against us that's attacking. And then Charmeleon is going to be a 2-shot with Confusion. Very good. And that ends this battle, and then we're going to backtrack and go face Misty. Now, Misty, like I said, we're still not outspeeding. We're still not outspeeding her Starmie, so this battle ends up being very lucky. So Staryu comes out. We're going to go for Sleep Powder on the Staryu. If we just hit the Sleep Powder, we can pretty much get through Staryu without taking any damage. But that 75% accurate comes back to haunt us here, so we lose about a quarter of our damage. But we get the knockout in 2 hits. Now, Starmie is Psychic type, so we are not as effective with our Psychic moves as we could be, or have been, I should say, with other Pokemon. So it resists it, so it's not as powerful. We don't have a great move here. It'd be great if we can get like Tackle or Swift at this point, but we can't get Swift till a little bit later. And so Starmie is confused, so we luck through a battle. We really do. We really is lucky. But we do get the win and move right on to Rock Tunnel, where we're going to face Boomer the Hiker, and he's going to go down to a couple confusions. If we don't get hit at all, we can just get through this with no problem. It does have Rock Throw, which should be effective. Self-Destruct does not knock us out. We move right on to Celadon City. Celadon gets us access to a lot of things. One of them is we can get some water and go get Psychic. We got Swift, so our moveset's upgraded, and we backtracked and fought Lieutenant Surge. Lieutenant Surge is a cakewalk. He's not hard at all. We don't even have the flying type anymore, so we're not even weak to him. 3 1-shots, actually 2 1-shots and a 2-shot, a Toko as I like to call it, a 2-hit knockout. We get the win over Lieutenant Surge, and that moves us right into the gym to face Erica. Now, Erica is the Grass Gym Leader. She has a Grass Poison Pokemon. 2 of them are Grass Poison, so we should have a pretty easy win over here. Let's see what happens. Sleeping Powder, just to be safe. Psychic on the Victory Bell does not 1-shot. That is a result of how not so great our stats are. But we do get the knockout. We're going to take Psybeam. We're going to replace Confusion with Psybeam. It's a little bit more powerful. Not a lot powerful, but a little bit more. It's crazy that Tangler, who is not weak to Psychic, almost gets 1-shot, but Victory Bell did not, and it's weak to Psychic. Nonetheless, we get the win, and we move right on to Giovanni number 1. Giovanni number 1. We should have maybe added Mega Drain for this, but not a big deal. Psychic is a 1-shot across the board, and Psychic will 1-shot the Kangaskhan. So 3 up, 3 down. Good morning, good evening, good night. We take care of Giovanni, and it moves us right into our battle against our rival in Pokemon Tower. Our rival is going to come out with a Pidgeotto. Pidgeotto is going to go down to 1 Psychic with a critical hit. Don't know if that mattered or not. And there's one Pokemon that kind of bothers us because we don't have anything great against an Execute, which eventually becomes Executor. We have Psychic moves. We don't have a great physical move. If we had like Leech Life or something, it'd probably be great against this Pokemon. But we don't have that, which is one of the detriments to not having anything great with the Bug type. We 1-shot the next 2 Pokemon on his team. Move right into Koga's gym. Now, Koga is the Poison Gym Leader, so we're going to just 1-shot his entire team. I'd be very surprised if we didn't 1-shot everything. Maybe not the Muck. Muck's pretty bulky. Nope, we get a 1-shot with a critical hit. one-shot on the Coughing, and is Wheezing a one-shot as well. Wheezing is not, however, just goes for X attack, not even going to touch us. We get the win, we level with level 40, we beat Koga, and that's going to transition us right into, I believe we're going to go into Silph-Co. The reason why we're going to Silph-Co is we don't want to go face Blaine yet, because we're still weak to fire moves, but it's still super effective. It would help our special having that boost, but we're going to put Pidgeot to sleep. Psychic is a 2-shot on the Pidgeot, very good. And we're going to knock it out with Swift. That leads us to Execute. Execute can poison us. Can poison us, paralyze us, can do a lot of things, so we're going to put it to sleep. And we're going to knock it out with Psychic. It's kind of a slow grind. It's not exactly the best typing matchup there. That's really our Achilles heel in this entire playthrough. There's nothing good for Execute or Executor. And we're going to go ahead and go for Swift on Alakazam. It's going to be a 3-shot, very good. Now Charizard, we're going to put it to sleep. It doesn't knock it out. Ember doesn't do a lot to us, but it does do a decent amount. We are weak to it. But Psychic is a 3-shot, and we get a pretty easy win over our rival. Just about exactly half health, actually. I was going to say about half health, but 65 times 2 is 130, so that's half health. And that moves us right into our Giovanni fight. And we're going to go ahead and come out. And Nidorino comes out, and Nidorino is probably poison type, so 1-shot with Psychic. We're going to have a 1-shot with Psychic on the Kangaskhan, 1-shot on the Rhyhorn, and now we have 1 Pokemon left, Nidoqueen. Is she a 1-shot? She is a 1-shot, so we clean sweep. Good morning, good evening, night. Put Giovanni number 2, and that moves us right into our Sabrina fight. Sabrina and her whip. We don't have a great move for Sabrina. She's resisted to our Psychic moves, and I misclick there, and now Swift is disabled, so now we're going to put this Pokemon to sleep. We're going to use Psychic. And Swift would have been the better move here, and now it's Swift was disabled, but now we get the knockout with Swift. Very good. We do outspeed most of the team. Do we outspeed the Alakazam? We do not outspeed the Alakazam. Being able to knock out these Pokemon and not take any hits is very big, so Sleep Powder is definitely being effective here. Psychic on the Venomoth is going to be a 2-shot, and that leaves us with 1 Pokemon Alakazam. He has nothing great against us. We are also Psychic type, and we probably resist a little bit because of the bug move, or the bug typing. So Swift is a couple hits to knock it out. Sabrina, we beat her and her whip, and that moves us right into Blaine. Blaine's a fire gym leader. He's going to lead out with his Growlithe. Growlithe, we're going to go ahead and put him to sleep, and we're going to see how powerful Psychic is. Psychic is a 1-shot on the Growlithe. Psychic is a 1-shot. No, it's not. I thought it was going to be a 1-shot on the Ponyta. So Ponyta is a Pokemon that kind of sucks to go up against because Fire Spin. If it hits Fire Spin, it's super effective. It's very powerful. But we get a 2-shot on the Rabbitash. That just leaves 1 Pokemon. And we do outspeed, so we can put it to sleep. And Psychic will be, looks like a 3-shot. And we get the knockout over Arcanine, beat Blaine, and moves us right into our battle against Giovanni, the last gym leader, the last Giovanni fight. And he leads out with a Rhyhorn. Mega Drain will 1-shot the Rhyhorn, making us full health. Very good. We're going to go for Psychic on the Dugtrio. Very good. Nidoqueen comes out. Psychic is a 1-shot. Is Nidoqueen 1-shot as well with Psychic? It is. And the last Pokemon is Rhydon. Rhydon comes out, and it's not a 1-shot. Stomp doesn't do that much damage. We knock it out, get a pretty easy win over Giovanni, and that leads us right into our final rival battle before we go into the Elite Four. And he's going to lead out with a Pidgeot. Now, Pidgeot, we've added a move to make this battle a little bit easier. So Pidgeot, we're going to go for Sleep Powder, very good. And we're going to mimic Agility. Agility is going to let us badge boost. So we got 1 Agility, 2 Agilities, and we put him back to sleep. Agility again. And 1 more Agility, and we should be set. Actually, Psychic does not 1-shot. That was very surprising to me. Very upsetting, but very surprising as well. Mega Drain will 1-shot the Rhyhorn. Execute comes out. I keep calling Executor. Execute comes out, and like I said, this is the problem Pokemon. And we get a 2 hit, so that one wasn't too bad, but we've been having problems knocking this Pokemon out, and Executor has greater stats, and it's going to be more of a problem. Psychic knocks out the Gyarados. Very good. Now Alakazam comes out. We're going to put Alakazam to sleep. We're going to go ahead and hit Psychic. It doesn't really do that much. We're going to try Mega Drain, at least replenish our health. It's a slow grind, and it's a whittle down here. We don't have a good physical move, so we don't have a lot of options here. And that leaves us with 1 Pokemon left. That is Charizard. We're going to go for Sleep Powder on the Charizard. It wakes up right away, but we're going to go put it back to sleep. It's Psychic. Psychic should be a 2-shot. We get the win over our rival and head right to the Elite Four. As we head into the Elite Four, let's take inventory on a few things real quick. First off, the timer is at 45 minutes and 46 seconds, so we potentially could get a sub 50-minute time. I've played through this already, and I've seen where this Pokemon has some better pain points, or where we can get a couple extra levels here and there very quickly. So I could probably get this definitely under 50 minutes. I'll play through it again. However, that's what we're at right now, so we could get this done if we get all of our battles done quickly. I've explained to you some problems that we have with some of these battles already, so it's not going to be easy to do that. However, let's go and go to the stats real quick. So the stats of this Pokemon are as follows. Attack is 108, defense is 114, speed is 139, special is 152. In the bottom left corner is our stats modified. We have HP is 193, so just about 200. Attack is 121, defense is 128, speed is 156, and special is 171. So that's pretty good. And we move into our moveset, which you can see in the top left corner, but I'll make it nice and big in the middle of the screen. Mega Drain, Mimic, Psychic, and Sleep Powder. Let's go into our first battle of the Elite Four, which is against Lorelei. Lorelei is the Ice/Water specialist in the Elite Four, and she's going to lead out with a Dugong Gong Gong. Dugong Gong Gong is going to go down. We're going to put it to sleep, and we're going to go for Psychic, which looks like it's going to be a 2-shot on the Dugong. Very good. Foister comes out. We're going to put Foister to sleep. We might be able to 1-shot with Mega Drain. Nope, it's going to be a 2-shot. So putting it to sleep was the right move there. It does have Aurora Beam. It could do something to us, but we are not flying type, so we're probably not as effective, so maybe that's why it won't go for it. But we're going to Mimic Amnesia on the Slowbro, and it's going to give us the ability to badge boost. Go back to sleep. 1, 2, and 3. So we're fully set up. Go for Psychic on the Slowbro. It's a 1-shot, very good. Jinx comes out. Jinx, is it going to be a 1-shot on the Jinx? We try to put her to sleep. She body slams us. Stupid. I don't know why we just didn't go for it. Yeah, Mega Drain, we're going to try to replenish some health. This is not necessary. We don't need to be replenishing our health. Just go for Psychic. And Body Slam, this could paralyze us, so this is why it wasn't a smart move. But nonetheless, we get the win, and we move on from Lorelei and move right into our battle against Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno very much. He's really just a lost hiker wandered in the Elite Four, and they accept him as one of their own. We're going to one-shot the Onyx, and we're going to have Hitmonchan come out. Psychic on Hitmonchan is a one-shot. Hitmonlee is going to be a one-shot as well. Onyx again, we're going to switch back to Mega Drain. It's going to be a one-shot, extremely good. And we have Machamp come out. It's Machamp a one-shot. He is critical hit. Don't know if it mattered. Probably didn't. We beat Bruno, and that moves us right into our battle against Agatha. Now, Agatha, in the original battle, even though we had psychic moves, we are not one-shotting a lot of her Pokemon. This battle, however, the tone changes absolutely. So Gengar goes down to 1. Golbat goes down to 1. Haunter goes down to 1. And Arbok goes down to 1. And we have one more Gengar. Is it a one-shot? It is not. However, it doesn't have anything to do to us except for confuse us. The other moves aren't very effective. So we beat Agatha pretty handily. And at 48 minutes, we're heading into our last member of the Elite Four before the champion. And here's where our battle kind of gets a little bit tricky. Not that tricky, but tricky nonetheless. Sleep Powder on the Gyarados. Go for Psychic. It's going to be a 2-shot. Very good. Dragonair comes out. We're going to put Dragonair to sleep. We're going to mimic Agility, just like we did on earlier. We're going to mimic Agility, and it's going to let us badge boost, so we're going to get faster. And we're also going to be able to one-shot the Dragonair. We still have one turn of setup if we wanted to. We haven't done that yet. Mega Drain is going to replenish some of our health. We got Supersonic, which confuses us. Unfortunately, this makes this battle a little bit more interesting. We should have gone for Psychic and knocked him out. And that leaves us with one Pokemon left, which is Dragonite, a 2-hit knockout with Psychic. So we are at 49 minutes and some seconds. Now we did a little bit of preparation to go into this battle. And this battle looks like we could get it done right around 50 minutes. So we're on a good pace here. But I make some mistakes. So we're going to go for Sleep Powder on the Pidgeot. And it looks like it's going to be about a 3-shot, 2 or 3-shot. No, it's going to be a 2-shot. Very good. Knock it out. And we're going to move right on to Alakazam. Alakazam, and we messed up here. We don't need to be going for Recover. We have Mega Drain. Mega Drain can be our move to recover if we need to recover health. Because we have plenty of it we can do on Rhydon. What we should have done is kept the Mimicking move and got rid of Mega Drain for, like, Hyper Beam. So this battle gets very close. And we were doing pretty well, even though it went off the rails pretty quick. So I'm trying to get a badge boost out of Rhydon. If you sit there and spam move against Rhydon, he could go for Leer or he can go for Tail Whip. And that's right there. And that boosts our attack stat and our special. It does lower our defense, so it makes us more susceptible to physical hits. So we're going to recover Leer right there. So that's 2. We put him to sleep. And I don't know why I'm doing the next part. So Mega Drain knocks him out. Very good. And so now we're moving on to Executor. And Executor is a Pokemon that we probably need to have a good physical move to beat. We don't have a great move for Executor. It is Grass Psychic. So it kind of resists our moves. There's nothing great to have against it. We do get the knockout. It is effective. But it took us a while and a little bit of luck. Psychic is going to be a 2-shot on the Gyarados. So we get a critical. Now, if we just hit this Sleep Powder, we'd have won this game probably in about 50 minutes and maybe 51 minutes. But we get Fire Blasted, and we get 1 shot from full health. So we have to fight this battle again. And this battle, this second attempt, goes off a lot more convoluted than the first attempt. So Psychic knocks out the Pidgeot, very good. Alakazam comes out, we'll go for Hyper Beam, we miss, and we get hit with Psychic, not a big deal. The one thing we don't want is our special drop right there. We could drop our special with Psychic for not paying attention. So we get the knockout and we move right on to Rhydon. Now Mega Drain is just going to one-shot, so now we have no badge boosts, and this really does hurt us against Executor. We don't have great stuff against Executor. I guess Hyper Beam does pretty good, but if you don't knock out Hyper Beam, you have to take a turn and kind of like rest. I should have gone for Hyper Beam right there. It probably would have knocked it out, but I didn't want to risk missing. So we're going to try this again, and this becomes a knockdown, drag-out fight. Luckily, we used our PP ups, and we have a lot of Psychic to get through this battle. And look at this. This is nothing going on right here. Nope, it didn't. Okay, I was going to say, did it hit like a reflect or something? It didn't. So that's just me concerning. And now we're completely out of Hyper Beams. And so we're going to try this battle again. Or try to put him to sleep again. And Psychic almost knocks him out. We just go for Mega Drain, get a little bit of our health back, just in case Gyarados, like we miss. So we're going to go for a Sleep Powder on the Gyarados, and we don't hit it, and he hits Hyper Beam, so we're down to not great health. It's not going good. Psychic, about, what, 2-shot, unless we get a critical. Nope, it's going to be a 3-shot. It does get a special drop. Now, if we put Charizard to sleep, and we just hit our Psychics, we can win this battle. Okay, are we going to win? Are we going to get the win? Very good. We do get the knockout. We get the win well with level 67. And as we get at our time locked into the Elite Four, we are at 53 minutes and 16 seconds. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it when I get to this part. So if you compare our times with the last playthrough, we have a good savings of time of about 11 minutes. Now, if it wasn't for a stupid miss Sleep Powder, we would have had this done in just about 51 minutes. And like I said, if I played through again with this typing, I know where I could do a little bit better and where I can gain some extra levels here and there. Like, for example, in this playthrough, I did not fight Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai is the karate dojo right next to Sabrina's gym. If you go in there, you can get some pretty easy wins if you have Psychic type, and I had Stab Psychic and didn't go in there. That could have been an extra level here and there. But really the improvements that I will say is we finished the game around the same level. We saved 11 minutes. We had 2 resets rather than 10. So that's good. Now, look at the time. Now, here's what happens with this time. This completely changes the dynamic of this Pokemon. So if you look at our tier list, right now, Butterfree is sitting at the D tier. Sub 65 minutes, just right under an hour and 5 minutes. So by playing through with different typing, this makes this Pokemon significantly better. Like I said, if I tried again, and I bet anything I could, maybe I'll do it on a live stream someday, I could get Butterfree down to sub 50. So Butterfree goes from being a bottom 6 Pokemon on my list so far to being right up there with Charizard. Okay, so that's how much better this Pokemon is. But even the time it locked in at 53 minutes, it makes it the number 1 Pokemon in the B tier. At 53 minutes. Even if we got it to 51 minutes, it'd still be number 1. So it's better than Rapidash, it'd be better than Primeape, Dragonite, Dugtrio, a whole bunch of Pokemon that it'd be better than. Changing this type, does it drastically? It's not like Gyarados. So when I played through with Gyarados got the time done about what I think Gyarados as Water Flying would do rather than Water Dragon. And I don't think it drastically made the Pokemon better. I think it eliminated one problem and added a brand new one. But with Butterfree, I don't feel the same. I think Butterfree, this typing makes this Pokemon way better. It makes this Pokemon way more usable in a playthrough. Whereas, like I said earlier, in my own personal experience, I would get Butterfree, and I pretty much ditch Butterfree and get an Abra and trade it for Mr. Mime. Whether that was buying Mr. Abra or catching it, I would still do that. With Butterfree having the typing of Bug Psychic, I think it changes that dynamic a little bit. I think it changes people's perspective of this, or perception, I should say, of this Pokemon. I think it makes this Pokemon a lot more viable in a playthrough. But without further ado, that is my video. I want to thank you all for stopping in and watching. The video that's coming out this Friday, we have a playthrough of Pinsir in Generation 1. And Pinsir is a solid Pokemon, but it's in the slow level up rate. So how big of a hindrance is that? It also has 0 stab moves. It also has one of the shortest move pools in this game. So how good or bad do we think this Pokemon's going to do? We'll find out on Friday. I thought it was going to be in 3rd place. That's how bad I thought it'd do compared to Butterfree and compared to Parasect. So we'll see on Friday. But let me know what you think. This is JD. This is Polywars Wrath. Have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time.